Section 11.3 is about geometric sequences. We've already learned about arithmetic sequences. Geometric sequences are similar, except you find each term by multiplying the previous term by a constant. And instead of the common difference, that's called the common ratio. Now you can always find the common ratio by dividing any term by the previous, and that's what this means. A sub n is whatever term you're looking at. And if you divide it by a sub n minus 1, the term that comes in front of it, that equals the common ratio. So if we're trying to find the missing term of this sequence, I'm going to try to figure out what the ratio is from 8 to 20. So I take 20 and I divide by 8. And that's going to give me 5 halves, which is 2.5. And then if I do the same to 20 and 50, I divide 50 by 20, I again get 5 halves, which is 2.5. So it's easy enough for me to see the common ratio here is multiplying by 2.5. So if I take 125 and multiply that by 2.5, I'll be able to find the next term in the sequence. And that's going to be 312.5. Here's the formula for the nth term of a geometric sequence. The a sub n is whatever term you're looking for. Again, a sub n is the first term. The r is the common ratio, and the n is whatever term you're looking at. So if I come down here and look at this example, I want to find the 8th term that has a first term of -3 and a common ratio of -2. So I'm looking for a sub 8, and I know my first term is -3. I'm going to multiply that by the common ratio of -2 to the 8 minus 1 power, because I plug in n. I plug in 8 for n because that's the 8th term is what I'm looking for. -2 to the 7th power is -128, and then 128 times 3 is 384. They're both negative. Therefore, the 8th term of this geometric sequence is positive 384. In this one, we're not asked to find a specific term, but we want to find the nth term, which means we're going to write an equation to find any term. So we start with the formula of a geometric sequence. We don't know what n is, so we want to find a sub n. The first term is a 3. To find the common ratio, we look here and we see from 3 to 12 is times 4. From 12 to 48 is also times 4. So this is a ratio of times 4. So we're going to say 4 to the n minus 1 power. And that's as far as we can simplify it. To find any term in this geometric sequence, you multiply 3 times 4 to whatever the number of the term is, minus 1. In this example, we're asked to find the 10th term, and we're given the common ratio, which is good, but we're given the 4th term. And that doesn't help us. We really need to find the first term so we can use the formula. So we're going to start with the formula. We're going to plug in the values that we do have. We know that a sub 4, we know the 4th term is 108. So I'm going to write my equation based on the 4th term. I don't know what a sub 1 is. I don't know the first term. But I know the ratio is 3 and the n is 4 because that's the 4th term. And I'm going to use this to solve for the first term, the a sub 1. So 3 to the 3rd power is 27. So we'll 27a. We'll divide both sides by 27. And we'll find out that a sub 1 is 4, which means the first term in this sequence is 4. So now I'm going to go back and use my formula again, but this time I know what a sub 1 is, so I can find the nth term. I can find that a sub 10 equals 4 times the ratio of 3 to the 10 minus 1 power. So 3 to the 9th power times 4 is 78,732, which means the 10th term in this geometric sequence is 78,732. Here now we're going to look at geometric means. Those are the missing terms between two non-successive terms in a geometric sequence. Remember, non-successive means not next to each other. So here we're asked to find 3 geometric means between these two numbers. Well, the key to finding means is knowing what the common ratio is. So I know we start with 2.25, we end with 576. There are 3 terms in between those, and those are the values that I have to find. So we'll start with our formula. I know a sub 1. I'm trying to find r. So what n am I going to use? Well, if you look, there are 5 terms here. So if we live in the world of a sub 5, I should be able to find what my common ratio is. So a sub 1 is 2.25, and then 5 minus 1. And so now I'm going to try to solve for r. I know a sub 5 is 576. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2.25. And we get r to the 4th power equals 256. To get rid of a 4th power, I'm going to take the 4th root of both sides. So you can use your calculator for that. And when you take the 4th root, you get a 4, because 4 to the 4th power is 256. But don't forget it's got to be plus and minus, because it's an even root. So there are actually 2 ratios that work here, positive 4 and negative 4. So the first one, I'm going to start with positive 4. I know that a sub 1 is 2.25, and then a sub 2 is going to be that 2.25 times the positive 4. And then a sub 3 is going to be that 9 that I just got times the 4. And then finally a sub 4 is the 36 that I just got times the 4. So that's one set of solutions, the second, third, and fourth value. And then over here, I'm going to start with a sub 1 again, but this time I'm going to use negative 4 for my ratio. So if you notice, the numbers are the same, except the signs are different on a few of them, but some of them, because you multiply two negatives, are positive, like in this example, 36.